Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Oh, my voice is not back. I kind of lost it for
Where'd you go?
a couple days. I lost it on Friday doing nothing. I think we talked so much last week that it just went away. I thought it was back, and then I started talking, and it's like 70%.
Oh.
You know how players go, I'm 70% right now. I'm 73%.
I never said that, ever.
I'm 73% right now.
Never did I say
You're
that.
always a hundo?
Yeah, because no one cares if you're 70%. You're either you can play or you can't play, Scott. There's no like, oh, everyone feel sorry for me. He's grinding through at 73%. No. You either can go or you can't go.
Completely agree. 100% is all that you have. Like you're going. It's not like, well, I'll kind of just like play it out, bro. See, to me that's like nonchalant way of like your 100% might not be what you think is your best, but it's still 100%. You can't play 110%
unless you're Jake Peavy. Oh, I'm gonna get out there and give 137% for the boys. Well, everyone else is only trying to give 100, but Jake was the master of it. He had a lot of people.
Would he say that publicly?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yes, after a game, he'd be like, "Oh, I was out there giving 172%." What? He would say that all the time. Oh,
it's
sorry,
entertaining.
it's just not a thing. Like that.
It's not. But I mean, listen, I played with Jake Peavy in 2 different places. The boys, I got to be out there for the boys. I can give 392% while everyone else is only giving 73% like Scott. Oh, then I'm going to play my guitar.
All right, let's get this one from AJ over the weekend because it looked like it was 100% done with which playoff teams were involved. Do you feel like there's a little opening?
I listen, I didn't say that. This was just to get people's responses.
Which I like.
And I was just asking, are all the MLB races decided except for seeding? It's September 1. There's a lot of separation. I mean, I feel like if you look at the standings,
well, now
mainly for the wild card, I mean, I guess the Rangers are alive.
Yeah.
But gosh, the Mariners are just they're trying not to get into the postseason sometimes. You look at it and you're like, remember when they made all those moves at the trade deadline and we were thinking, gosh, the Mariners are it. They haven't played any better.
Mm-mm.
They've actually kind of played worse.
Their starting staff is not the same right now.
What happened? That was their strength. I don't know. The Rangers are making a run. Do you believe in the Rangers, though? They're 9-1. They won 6 in a row. So this is their hot streak. And they're still, 2 games back?
Game and a half?
Well,
yep.
2 in the loss.
Right,
I always
2
look
in
at
the loss. Okay.
All right. I mean, the National League, I can't see the Reds catching the Mets at 4 back with 24 games to go.
They called up Sal Stewart.
Sal Stewart, by the way, thank you for the 2021 state championship for my son. Never forget you, pal. Thank you. Welcome to the big leagues.
He can hit. They need the bat.
Great story. So we're playing them in the state championship in the Twin Stadium. And he was, of course, went on to be a number 1 pick or whatever. And he plays at Miami Westminster. He played at Miami Westminster, which is like down in Miami, obviously, or A-Rod and Minkiewicz. And there's a whole line of guys that went to Miami Westminster, if you don't know what it is. They had a fence that was like 240 feet, I guess, to right field. So he could hit like a fly ball to right. And it was a home run. So we play him in the state championship. First at bat, whack, best ball to right, and our right fielder's like, boop. He's like, whoa, whack, next to bat, fly ball to right. Got it. He was like, best ball, and the guy was just like, because it was in a big league spring training.
Right. So he's used to that park.
He was used to Westminster, and then he got to, we won 3-0. So
they made a little Yankee Stadium short porch over there?
Oh, yeah. Supposedly it's like really short. I don't know because I've never seen it, but I've heard it's like super short.
Wow.
Yeah. But, yeah, Sal Stewart.
Got to change your approach. But whatever, he made it to the big leagues.
He made it to the big leagues, and he got a knock, and they walked off his first win.
Yeah.
Good for him. I mean, listen, apparently he's been banging in the minor leagues, so good for him. Welcome to the big league, Sal. But, I mean, I'll always never forget you, 2021.
It's funny, as we're saying this, Alden Gonzalez just tweeted, and I know we'll get to the topic here coming up in 1 second. Literally, as we're talking about this, Alden Gonzalez just put out a tweet that said, the Reds got Ke'Bryan Hayes because he's one of the game's best defensive third basemen, but they also hoped his bat would come alive in a hitter-friendly park. 29 games in, 274, 343 on base, 453 slug, 3 home runs, 1 more than in 100 prior games with the Pirates. He's just pointing out the numbers have been better over a month or so span. So we'll see. I mean, it's certainly helping the Reds. It's just not enough right now.
I daily text my Pirate friend, Dave Wisnowski. Dave, did you see Ke'Bryan Hayes got a big... Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Too soon.
It's just...
I feel like the Pirates are still happy about it, though. It wasn't working.
The Pirates are very happy that this trade happened. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. Unless Ke'Bryan Hayes goes off and becomes the MVP of the American League, the Pirates are very happy to get
National League, but yeah. Yep.
And that's it. It was a contract dump for the Pirates, and they were like, oh, a team in our division will take him? Huh. Enjoy Cincinnati.
I think they said, Kratz, even if they see success from him, it wasn't happening here. So let's just change it up.
And then go spend the money on another player, right?
Exactly. Say it with a straight face. You won't. Well, we're going to get into all of this, and I do want to dive deep into the AL East. Getting very interesting. Yes. We have a special guest joining us to talk about it. When we swing back, Max Scherzer of the Toronto Blue Jays next on FT. FT fam, designer clothes can be expensive, but we want our clothes to look good, we want to feel good, we want them to be affordable. And Kratz, if you tell me that I can wear a t-shirt that looks like it's tailored, but it's not actually tailored, and it just comes that way, then sign me up for True Classic.
Have to. You got to sign up for it because these shirts are soft, they're thin, they're durable, and they're very versatile. You can wear them to the gym, you can wear them out to a nice dinner. Let's get after it because these shirts are the real deal.
They are. Check it out. I've got one of the performance ones. It's a nice blue, fits well. I can go to the gym. I can go out. I can do FT in a shirt like this. FT fam, there's a reason why True Classic has sold over 25 million shirts to more than 5 million customers, and they are racking up over 200,000 5-star reviews. See for yourself with our exclusive link at trueclassic.com/foul to save. That's trueclassic.com/FOUL. I'm rocking True Classic all week. You see what this says on the inside?
Yeah.
Can you read it?
Yes, I can read it.
Tell everyone. They can't see.
It says that Scott doesn't look good, but he feels good. So that's what it says.
You can tell when you're coming up with something up to no good. Look good, feel good. Yeah, I've actually got the shorts on too, and they're really nice.
I don't want to see your shorts, Scott.
I'm not showing them to you. Don't worry.
Don't be pulling out the inside.
Also, look good, feel good. But I've got the shirt that I was just talking about.
That's not
in
blue, though.
black.
You must be colorblind.
No, the one that was in blue was in the pretty ad that we put together for everyone. So check it out. You heard about
look
the
good,
website.
feel good, play good.
Exactly.
I ain't getting no performance shirts. I only got T-shirts. I can't wear my T-shirts to the gym.
Open up that wallet.
Scott, tell him.
Open it up. I made a big boy order. I placed a big boy order the other day. I got
but
shirts.
You got the shirt
I got
size
shorts.
too small, so you got the big boy order with the extra small
this shirt fits well. Look.
Good job, big boy.
Thank you.
He gets flagged as an adult ordering kids' clothes.
Excuse me, sir. Are you sure? Yes. Did you see the U.S. Open thief? You had to have
the
seen
trophy.
that.
The guy who stole the trophy.
No, the guy.
The guy who stole the kid's hat. Why did he do that?
That guy has gone ultra global viral.
Yeah, he's
a CEO in Poland of some company that's
Polacks are smarter than this.
And he came out to defend it. Like the kid was too slow, and everyone should be careful or he'll sue them. For what? Saying you're an ass?
Are you stealing a kid's hat?
Come on. Hey, we've got Max Scherzer back on FT. Max, great to see you. How's the year going, man? We haven't caught up with you in a minute.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. Yeah, yours going great. Yeah, I had a hiccup there for a while, but back on track, and we're playing some good baseball here and some meaningful baseball here in September.
Did you see this coming? So you signed with the Blue Jays in the offseason, right? And I'm sure you see some of the names on paper, but they had been disappointing in the prior couple years. I'm sure you evaluate teams, obviously, when you're making a decision on your free agency. Did you see this kind of breakout for the team?
I wouldn't look at it like that. Chris Bass is one of my good buddies. Played with him in New York, and he was there. Just had conversations. I keep it up with him all the time. We were just having conversations kind of throughout the whole free agent process, and just kind of what the team looked like. And then I think they signed Santander, and then I had a conversation with the upper brass of the Blue Jays, and they said, no, we're all in for 2025. We're looking to make moves, and if we're good, we're going to go in at the trade deadline as well. So when I heard that, that gave me a lot of confidence that this team can turn it around. They identified their mistakes and want to have a really good 2025, and so it's been great to be a part of it.
Max, can you describe what it's like playing for the Blue Jays? We haven't talked to you, I don't think, maybe since spring training, but everyone I know that's ever played for Toronto says it's awesome up there. And everyone that doesn't play for him says, oh, it's customs and I got to do this and do that. But every guy I know that's ever gone up there said the organization's unbelievable, the way they treat you. So can you expound on that? Expand on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fun this summer, man. It's been great playing for the Blue Jays. They treat the families amazingly well. My girls, they've had so much fun. We've been staying downtown, and so it's made it really easy to get the kids to the park to get some extra hours around Dad. So that's been great. And every team's kind of got crap you got to deal with. I mean, it doesn't matter what team you're with. I mean, if you play in LA or New York or DC, you're sitting in traffic. I mean, you that's one of the life things that you got to deal with. With Toronto, yeah, you got to deal with some border stuff. You got to be on the plane, I guess, and have the car game go on for a little bit longer than usual. And you got to deal with some border stuff and get the bags off, the carousel sometimes. So. But outside of that, being a Blue Jay, it's been actually so much fun. Loved it. Loved every minute of it.
When they said some of the things that they wanted to change, or they said, oh, this is what we need to change for this year, did they change those things with the Santander signing? But then Santander hasn't even played much this year. So it's like other guys have stepped up.
Right. I mean, they looked at themselves internally, too, where they wanted to make changes to hitting coaches, what they wanted to do different with the pitching, and obviously how they wanted to, they made a trade for, Jimenez. They didn't like their infield defense. And they go out there and they get, one of the best Gold Glove second basemen there is in the game. And so it's moves like that where they looked internally at themselves of how they wanted to operate differently, and the addition of signing guys, was the kind of change that they looked internally. It's tough to really tell because I wasn't here last year to really know all the ins and outs, but just from the scuttlebutt, that's kind of what's been going on.
Well, you guys are doing great so far, so you're in a good spot. But I got to ask this: how's the back? Right? Didn't your back was it your back that tightened up on you your last start?
Yeah, last start. It's actually kind of minor, like upper scap. Before the game, I woke up normal, kind of looking down at the sky reports, and I was looking down. I looked up. All of a sudden, I could feel like my upper scap was tight. I'm like, oh, that's odd. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I'm 41. I got to deal with crap now. So I don't know. I heated up thinking it was going to go away, but then kind of in the second inning, I kind of felt it, kind of get a little bit tighter again on me. And so that's when I kind of lured the team, hey, I got something here. And you could see it was compromising my stuff. And I was going to, I was good. It was dull. It wasn't sharp. Something I thought I could pitch through, but it was affecting my stuff. And, I had to come out of the game early because of that.
One of the things that we heard from the Blue Jays, about the Blue Jays, I think Justin Turner was even talking about it when we had him on talking about the Jays. Their medical stuff is like next level, state of the art. Well, I know two of your trainers, Jose Ministral and Voon Chung, are two of the biggest slouches I've ever seen in my life, and they're two of my best friends in the training world. But do they really have, because you've been around, do they have a leg up medically on other teams?
I don't know if I would characterize it like that. When they came through and they did all the renovations to the Rogers Center, I mean, this home clubhouse is as pristine. It's the nicest home clubhouse probably in the game. I mean, I was just in Texas. Texas might be the biggest. I mean, it's awesome. Texas is big and it's awesome, but the details here in Toronto are great. So, they kind of got all the machines and everything you need to, go about your day. I mean, there was definitely times I'm using some of those shockwave stuff where I'm shocking myself to get everything going. But no, it's very good. Very good all the way around.
Max, how surprised are you? I mean, early in the year, the Blue Jays weren't great, but now all of a sudden they took off. It was like last 3 months they've just taken off. Is it offense? Is it defense? Is it pitching? Everything just came together. What changed? Because early in the year it was kind of like, when are the Blue Jays going to go? And then, whew, it was like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I think we were just getting off. I wouldn't say on a slow start. We just, Woods was saying in April that you can't win the division in April, but you can lose it. Well, we didn't lose it in April. We were playing kind of 500 ball, and we're kind of got off to this. I don't want to say a slow start, but we didn't get off to the best start. And then we just kind of clicked as a team. We started identifying the roles that everybody wanted to be in. I wasn't pitching, but I was watching this go down and watching how everything was transpiring and how the offense started clicking. Defense was playing great. Even the outfield defense. I mean, now I'm seeing Varsho out in center. Man, my gosh, I knew he was good. I didn't realize it was this good. I mean, he's making highlight reel catches all the single. Every seems like every day he's going back and almost robbing a home run. And so you combine that with all the little things that was going on, and then you go up and down the lineup. I mean, it's not just one guy here. George Springer, Vladdy, Bo. Barja comes in. He finally gets hot. He gets going. We got contributions from Lukey, Miles Straw, you name it, going around. Ernie Clement. I mean, up and down the lineup, everybody just started playing better and feeding off each other and grinding out ABs. And, the offense, ran, and then all of a sudden the pitching came together as well. So it's just one of those things where the whole team clicked at once. It wasn't just one, aspect of this. It was a total team effort.
All right. How are you guys combating against tipping in game in the sense of, because when I played on good playoff contending World Series winning teams, they want to take every advantage that you can on both sides. Do you feel like there needs to be some kind of rule change as far as the coaches, first and third base coaches, going way down the line or way up the line in unnecessary moments?
I mean, yeah, you definitely have to be worried about tipping in today's game. I mean, the cameras that they have, the HD stuff that they can see on you, and like you said, the coaches, they're getting it. That's kind of the gray area for me when the coaches get involved. I don't mind when it's the players. If you're on the field, you're a base runner, you can get something. That's part of the game. You start getting the coaches involved, that's the gray area for me. Like you said, in the future, do we want a real change to help kind of curtail this? I think that's a conversation for a different day because, it does nothing to, talk about it now or complain about it now. But in the future, that could be something to talk about because, it's just next level now. And multiple teams I've been on, and what guys can look at and decipher on you, it's crazy.
Well, they're not banging trash cans, right? I just want to make sure that no one's banging trash cans.
No.
Okay.
Everything's on the up and up.
Okay, good answer. I figured that. Did you see recently that all of our friend Rob Manfred came out and was talking about realignment? Are you for realignment? And would you like to see some people say 8 divisions of 4, and then we have some people that say 4 divisions of 8? Are you for realignment? Because I think it would be great in certain ways, but then I think there's other ways where it would hurt baseball.
Yeah, very intriguing. This also revolves around expansion, so we got to see what 2 cities would come into this. But that's definitely intriguing. If when you add 2 more teams into the league, get the 32. Okay, you look at the NFL; they're divided in 8 divisions, 4 teams each. I'm open to it. I think it could be good for the game. Something you definitely got to think about, and obviously we're multiple years away from this, but I'm intrigued by it. I wanted to hear what ideas are. I've kind of read some things about it. There's kind of pros and cons to how you would divide this up, but definitely open to the idea of it.
Has Rob made the clubhouse tour stop in Toronto yet, or when you guys were on the road?
No, we haven't seen him yet. I'm not holding my breath.
You don't think he's going to come in there, but do you feel like, because obviously there's a lot of, the word you used was scuttlebutt about the Phillies, and how they reacted to him. Do you feel like they reacted in a fair way when someone comes into their clubhouse and talks about stuff that maybe isn't necessarily how they want to react? And how would you have reacted?
Can't really comment exactly on the Philly situation. All I know is when you start dealing with the finances of the game, you're dealing with people's livelihoods. You're dealing with how people are getting paid within the game, and you're really in some sensitive situations. I did my work with the union. I definitely had to have that in the back of my mind. I have people's livelihoods. People's dreams of playing the major leagues and how we compensate people because of that on the back of my mind. So I know that these are very contentious issues. These are very hot. And things can get sideways really fast because you're really talking about how the game can work. So, without really speculating how things got portrayed in the media, I wasn't there, don't know, but I definitely know things like that can get like that.
Max, sorry, got me all choked up here. You just mentioned you were on the union, and you were in the union. You were on the what I forget what the head executive board. Yeah.
Yep.
We recently had a thing kind of come out, and it was in The Athletic, about players that are now working for Rob, and they follow Rob into the clubhouse. Is that your next move as a former executive board meeting? When you retire, you're going to follow Rob around for these clubhouse tours so you can go up to the players and say, man, Rob is great, isn't he?
Yeah, I probably won't be doing that. Probably doing that somewhere else. I've retired from the union stuff. That was too many phone calls. I got 4 kids now. I'm a busy dad. I got these kids running around. I don't have time to be sitting on phone calls, keeping everybody up to date. And so, that's always been my message to the next, subcommittee guys is, look, I know you want to do a lot of great things, but just know you're going to be sitting on a lot of phone calls because you got to talk to everybody across the league. Kind of all your kind of personal contacts, all your friends across the game. And then, you got to be talking to multiple teams and even people on your team. So it's a lot of work, a lot of phone calls of trying to keep everybody on the same page. And, glad I did it. Glad I tried to do the best thing for the game. Always, I always loved I did that. It's a lot of work, but glad I did it. And hopefully you make the game better.
What would you give advice? You would give advice for people that are, going on to the executive subcommittee. But what about young guys? What about young guys coming into the game and how to engage in the union? Because young dudes are like, I want to go play the game. I want to go out after the game. I'm going to play the next game. I want to stay in the big leagues. What would the advice be that you would have for them as a guy that's now, all right, I'm good. Like, I don't need to spend more time on union stuff.
Honestly, just talk to veterans. The veterans have been through every level. When the young guys, when you're in the, you're kind of the pre-arb, you're making the minimum. Well, every veteran has been there. Every veteran's put in the 3 years. Every veteran's gone through, 3 years of ARB. They've seen free agency, and especially when you get, guys with 10 plus years, they've seen the ups and downs of free agency. They see how different decisions get made on teammates. They had a teammate go through this, and they have the experience of seeing how certain things within the CBA affect how decisions get made for players' careers. So really, for young guys, just stay connected to the old guys. Talk about that type of stuff. When you're, sitting, on the couches and, after BP or something, that conversation comes up, young guys need to be a part of that because they help control where the boat goes, so to say, to where everybody in the game goes. So everybody's on the same page.
All right. Well, for a couple of things. First of all, I want to make it clear we're independent, so we're not owned by the union it's not for you. I know you know that, but I'm saying for other people out there, we're not owned by the players and we're not owned by the commissioner. So we're independent. We just like quality. You mentioned though, the young players need to sit down and listen to the veterans. I remember as a young player, you were like, I just want to stay out of it and let those guys handle it. How does the union make it better on these young players? Because again, when you were young and you had the veteran guys, now times have changed a lot, but it was just sit in your locker, don't talk. We'll let you know what you're supposed to do, right? And now younger guys have a bigger voice in this game. So how does the union communicate with them better what they're trying to get across?
I think there's just better team communication about these issues when it gets into kind of, when the pressure really gets cooked up around these issues, that you can get information out to the whole team very quickly. I think teams are identifying. I mean, now with phones and texting, I mean, you can get in touch with anybody across the league within 5 minutes, and so it's really staying the due diligence of kind of the union rep on the team of keeping that kind of communication in line. Hey. Throughout the team. So it's kind of a team effort of who your leader is and then how well everybody is engaged of understanding what the issues are at hand. So, yeah, I mean, it's a difficult task, but it's nothing that's not insurmountable.
Max, everybody had somebody. I know it's totally off topic here, but you talked about being a rookie and vets. Who was your guy that, as a rookie, just absolutely wore you out, but could have also been somebody that really helped you? Because I feel like everybody has somebody, but now as a vet, you look back at it and you're like, all right, I guess that kind of worked out for me.
Yeah, the best thing I can say about that, actually, bro, I was in Detroit, was Gerald Laird. Man, he would just get on you for absolutely anything. But he meant it in the best way and best way possible. And it led you developed that relationship. So then when it needed to be, when he got sassy with me several times, but like, this is how you need to pitch. You need to, when I call a fastball away, throw the fastball away. And you get very, animated about it. And, really have great conversations about it, at all different phases of it. So, when you say that, a veteran that was really hard on me when I was young, I'd say him.
Max, you've played with some of the best guys in the history of baseball. Miggy, Bryce, Soto. I mean, you've had kind of a who's who of dudes that you've played with hitter-wise, right? And now you have Vlad. What is something that people don't know about Vlad, or a comparison to some of those guys that you played with throughout your career that stands out and you can say, Jays fans, this is why he's worth the contract that he signed?
He's actually very athletic. He kind of gives you some D-tackle vibes. He really, like, you watch him get down the line, you're like, oh, like he's running down that line that fast, or he goes first to third or second to home. He's actually, he's way faster than you would typically think of him. And I think he's coming into his own. I mean, as good as he is, there's still so much more untapped potential of what I see from him. I don't like throwing this comparison around because I hold him so high, like you said, Miguel Cabrera, but he has that type of talent. He can hit the ball as hard as Miguel Cabrera. But Miggy had the IQ and the polish when I play with him. I played him in his early 30s, so a little bit different. Vlad's still got some time to develop here, but if he puts his nose down into the dirt and figures out how to really study the way he hits and how he does it, and takes stuff like that and puts it into his game, he can be an absolute offensive force. I've definitely seen it.
Can you give us an insight into the bullpen pep talk that you gave?
Bullpen pep talk.
No, Kratz.
No?
What was that one? I don't know.
I think we're talking about Vladdy. Vladdy gave a pep talk.
Oh, that's my bizzle.
Oh, Vladdy did. Yeah,
Vladdy
honestly, you know what? It makes sense all the time because we all have each other's backs. We all believe in each other. I think that's one trait that we have here is that we think we have the right team, the right personalities, the right guys. Everybody's in the right roles. Somebody fails, somebody else is going to do their job better. It doesn't matter. We've seen this happen to us all throughout the season where, hey, one bad play happens or somebody doesn't make a play, that somebody gives up a homer, who knows. No one's turning their back. Everybody's trying to pick each other up. And so I think Vladdy's learning himself as kind of a leader. Being 26 years old, still in the game, it's tough to be kind of that vocal leader, and he's finding his voice. He's finding his way to do it, and he's showing support when guys need it the most. And so, having him say that, that's just kind of who we are kind of as a Blue Jays right now.
All right, I got to ask, since you said you're living in the city, have you met Drake yet? I mean, he's the king of the six, right? Has Drake been to a game and has he said, "What's up, Max"?
No, we haven't seen Drake. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any slurs that we've seen come by. You got me on the spot, drawing a blank. The cool thing we did do is we did go to the Game 7 Eastern Conference when the Leafs played the Florida Panthers. That was a really cool environment. I mean, I know there's a hockey town in Toronto, and man, there was that stadium was that we went to it. It was nuts. So it kind of gives you a taste of what it could be for us. And so that gives us the motivation, man. If we can get there to the playoffs, the Rogers Center will be rocking. I know that.
But by the way, I know you were rooting for the Panthers because I know you live in Florida, so you better have been rooting for the Panthers, not the Leafs.
Yeah, I'm still kind of.
You had to do it in secret. You had to do it in secret. I know you couldn't.
No, Washington Capitals. I still got a piece of me that loves the Washington Capitals. So,
okay.
You know, when they came in, they gave me that trophy, and I got to hold the Stanley Cup over my head like that. You know, I still remember that pretty well. So Ovechkin's still going. Old guys are still getting it done.
All right. So when you recently faced Kershaw, did you guys have to get wheelchairs, to get out there because everyone's talking about all the time, right? Because you guys remember the famous game where you both started forever ago in Dodger Stadium when it was supposed to be Maddox and Randy. Instead, it was these two pups, Scherzer and Kershaw. Who the hell are these two guys? And now 20 years later, you guys got to do it again. So were you guys leaving notes for each other on the mound? I know you guys exchanged jerseys, which was really cool. But I mean, that had to be one of the best games you ever got to pitch in, right?
It was just really cool. And I knew that Dodger start was coming up. It was like 2 starts ahead. I was like, oh, I'm going to get the Dodgers. I was like, oh, man, who am I going to get up? I was like, please let it be Kershaw. This is going to be too much fun. And sure enough, it lined up just all right where he was starting to. And, just what a moment. We've been competing at each other all these years, from the same draft class, you name it. And still 18 years in, and we're still going at it. And we both went out there and competed hard against each other, just like we always have. And even though he got the better end of it, tip my hat to him. But that was a pretty cool moment. Didn't get a jersey from him when I was in LA, but I've always wanted a Kershaw jersey, so best to get it in that way.
All right.
Okay, Kratz.
Who should have been picked first? You or Kershaw? You got it.
That's where you decide.
No,
I go out there. I'm trying to win every single time. I don't care who's against me. I'm trying to beat anybody who's staying in that box.
But I'm saying who should, if you go back to the draft, because you always do these redo the trade or redo the draft. You have to compare your career to Kershaw's career. Who should have been picked first?
I don't know. That's weird. It's easier to do it when it's somebody else. Like if you go to a different sport or something else, yeah, you can give a lot. When it's you versus him, I don't know. It's weird talking to yourself like that. Because we're on the mound. We compete against each other. It's weird thinking of it in those terms. But that's for you to decide. Like you're out of the game now. You can look at us. And now you.
I got it. You both are going in the Hall of Fame as Dodgers. So that's it. That's all that matters. You guys are both going to the Hall of Fame as Dodgers.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mac, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun matchup to watch. Great catching up with you, man. Yeah, it's been a minute. So we enjoyed it. Thanks for the time. Good luck the rest of the way, man. We're following this closely.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, you. Max Scherzer with us on FT. We'll actually talk about the AL East next. Toronto, Yanks, or Red Sox? We're throwing a curveball at you this week for our Arena Club segment as AJ has opened up a Pokemon slap pack.
Is that how you say it?
Pokemon slap pack. Pokemon. Don't ask me to say what that card is, but what are you doing with that card?
I already sold it. Are you kidding me?
Sold it back, baby.
I bought it, and then I got more money than I paid for the pack, so I sold it straight back.
You bought it for
$250.
You sold it for
$299.
And you can go get yourself something that you maybe know how to pronounce.
Yes, or know what it is. I just did it because I saw certain people opening Pokemon, and they were making money, and guess what? I got lucky. Made money off of it too.
Exactly. But of course, if you're into sports cards, that is something that you can find a ton of on the Arena Club Marketplace. Buy, sell, slab pack, trade. 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase can be had at arenaclub.com/foul and use the code FOUL. That's arenaclub.com/foul and use code FOUL. Hey, welcome back, Luis Garcia. First start over the weekend in 854 days. Quality start. Did you forget about him?
I forgot who that even was. Isn't he the guy that used to do the Rocky in the
Yes.
thing? Oh, yes.
Yep.
The Rock the
He
Baby
pitched
guy.
good. He pitched really good. I remember seeing him pitch. I didn't realize it had been that long since he pitched, but remember he used to do the whole, and they were like, is that illegal?
It was fun to
They
watch.
changed the rule. They changed the rule, and one start in, he got hurt. They changed that rule in 25. You can't start and stop. It has to be a continuous motion to the plate, even though Nestor kind of goes on that line a little bit. But, yeah, and then he got hurt, and people were like, oh, man, he got hurt because they changed the rule. No. But, man, that is a long time to be out. Astros have had some guys that have had some long IL stints from arm surgeries. But he went out there and did well. All these guys coming back from IL recently have all done well. Bradish, Garcia, Bieber. Dudes could pitch in the playoffs.
Yeah, long absences.
Yeah.
I mean, this was over 2 years.
Yeah. I do have a question for you, like a serious, legitimate question. Like I joked with Max about going in as a Dodger. Who does he go in as?
National.
Nat, you think? Over
Yeah.
the Tigers? Because he won with the Nats?
Yeah. Because he won with the Nats. And, I mean, without looking closely at number comparisons, he was nasty with the Nats and as the
He's
title.
nasty with everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But the longevity of the individual accomplishment plus the title.
I guess 2 sides with the Nationals.
Yeah.
Charging the mound.
Let's charge the mound, powered by MLB Rivals. Here's a rivalry. Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays at the top of the AL East, but will it be for long? Who do you like of the three, and are you surprised that it's gotten this close this quickly? We have a full month to go.
No, I'm not surprised because here's the thing. Who did the Yankees just play?
Nobody.
Now who do they play?
Somebody.
The Astros, right? They did Jays. They run the gauntlet for the next 2 weeks is a gauntlet for them.
Yeah.
Astros, Jays, it's all first place teams, isn't it?
So Astros for 3, then they're home against the Jays for 3. They stay home for 3 against the Tigers.
Okay.
They hit the road to Boston.
Okay.
Then it starts to ease up again.
But what do the Yankees always do? We've talked about this. They beat up on not so good teams because they can hit the homers and they don't face the best pitching, right? So now they get to go and play. Now we'll find out the next 12 days with the Yankees. Now the Red Sox, I don't know who they play, but the Jays, at least the Red Sox have Yankees in there. Jays have Yankees in there. So in the next 2 weeks, we'll know. Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised by this at all. Because the 3 teams, the Jays were on such a rocket ship for such a long time. They got that lead, and now it's kind of okay. They're still playing okay, but they're coming back to the pack a little bit. But I still right now like where the Jays are at. I like their starting pitching. I just think that they're in a good spot. So we'll see where they end up. I mean, they're 2 up in the wild card on the Yankees, 3 up on the Red Sox. So we'll see.
And they have a bullpen problem, Kratz.
They do, but I still like their bullpen. I was really hoping for them. Yimi Garcia would make it back. It's not going to happen. I mean, just the back 2 guys. I mean, just the end 2 guys. Nance has been throwing well. He blew it yesterday. Hoffman is good. He hasn't been elite Hoffman, but last year he was elite Hoffman and went to the playoffs and he was not elite Hoffman. The Mets figured him out. But to me, when you have Louis Varland, who had a great outing his last outing against the Brewers, but the 2 weeks prior, maybe he's still trying to get his feet wet with the Blue Jays. Maybe he's still, not understanding how they're approaching hitters the same way. It's not always just a linear move across the board. To me, you have to look at this month of September will obviously tell where the Blue Jays are going to be. This bullpen has an advantage over other bullpens that are struggling right now. Their starters usually give them length. These guys that go out there, they're giving them length, 6, 7 innings. So they're not just getting burned out, and hopefully Schneider can find a guy like Louis Varland some extra, softer landing spots to not have to come in a 1-run game.
Yeah, they're frustrated with Varland because they feel like the stuff is there.
Yeah.
He's just not getting the results. Hoffman, on the other hand, AJ, has given up 14 home runs this year. He's got an 85 ERA plus after a dynamite couple seasons before this in Philly in 23 and 24. Do you trust him?
Here's my biggest thing about Hoffman is at the beginning of the year he was really good, but they also were using him for multiple innings. He had a lot of 4-out saves. He was doing a lot of things that most closers don't do. Is he tired? Is he a little bit worn down from all of those innings? I mean, he's thrown a lot, and he's done multiple innings. Every time I turned it on the 8th inning, Hoffman was in the game trying to get a 4 or 5 out save. So I think that maybe he might be a little bit tired, and he'll get ramped back up and when it comes to it. But I mean, he's got 8 wins also. It's a lot for a closer. 8 wins.
Yeah, 8 and 6.
Hawking them victories.
Yeah, 29 saves, 57 and a third innings. How many appearances? 60 appearances. I mean, he did make 68 appearances last year.
Yeah, but we got a month to go, and he's at 60.
Right. So
and I know that he doesn't have as many innings as he does appearances, but there was a lot early, especially early, where he was 4 or 5 outs.
Mm-hmm.
When they were really trying to figure it out. So it's curtailed a little bit, but still, it's he might be a little tired. Who knows? We'll see. But listen, September 1st, September 2nd now, adrenaline kicks back in. It's time to go.
Okay. They picked up Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the Blue Jays did. They also booted Eric Lauer to the bullpen for now. That'll help the bullpen if he looks like he did as a starter, Kratz.
For sure. You hope his stuff translates, maybe even ticks up. But again, are they going to lean on Bieber? Is Bieber even making that playoff rotation? I get it. He's had 2 great starts, but Lauer's got to be down there ready to go because he was kicking it in the rotation. It's got to be a knock to his, not to his ego, but just he's got to be pissed off about it because he was throwing well.
Which team is the bigger threat, the Red Sox or the Yankees? Or do you want to hear some scheduling? Because
I think the Red Sox, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's soft schedule coming up for them too. I mean, they didn't handle the Pirates too well. They picked up the end of the series, but they lost 2 out of 3 there. They did beat Cleveland last night. They've got 2 more against Cleveland. Then they hit the road for Arizona and the ATHs.
ATHs, don't sleep on the ATHs.
That's true. This is not the best time to face them.
I just saw Hinch and the Tigers, and they were talking about the ATHs, and they were saying it is not a fun place to have to go play right now. Because what I say about the Tigers, remember you guys asked me about the Tigers, and I said once they play the Royals and they start getting back into it and they get out of Sacramento, and it's exactly what Hinch and some of the guys said. They go, we went to Sacramento, the lights are bad, the clubhouses are bad, the field, it feels like a minor league park. They said that in Tampa. It literally feels like a minor league park. And they were like, it's a hard time getting up. Not because they understand it's a big league game, but it's hard getting up for a game when there's 9,000 people. The lights are bad. Hinch at one point said he was going to get ejected. He thought about getting ejected. I don't know what. But then he said he'd have to walk across the field. It was when Skubal was yelling at the ump. Remember the Skubal got into it, and then he gave up the grand slam? And Hinch was like, well, I wanted to kind of go out there and protect my guy, but then he's like, I got to walk all the way out to center field to leave. I can't just go through the dugout. It's like, then I would delay my pitcher longer, and it would have just taken longer. So he's like, screw it. I just had to let it ride. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those. It was funny because I never heard anyone say that. Because then he's like, do I get the card if I get ejected? Do I wait for the card to take me? Or do I walk? Because then I got to walk all the way out there, and I'm not as spry as I used to be.
Well, some people, fans, will say, who've never played baseball, will say, BS excuses. That shouldn't matter. My question back to you is, does a game feel exactly the same if you're playing it in a sold-out ballpark with all of the amenities that you guys are used to versus if you played on a Little League field?
No, it doesn't. Now, if you do the one-off games, and Kratz, I think you speak of this, if you do like a one-off, like I was fortunate to play in Fort Bragg, right? That was cool because it was a tiny park, like 2,000 people. But you're like, I'm in Fort Bragg, and there's only military people here watching me. Now, that one was cool. But to go and have to play a 3-game series in a place, you're like, but I heard the hotel was nice. I heard there was kind of some stuff to do in Sacramento. But as far as the ball, like they said, the field was fine and the clubhouse was, the amenities were okay. But it was just more about just the atmosphere.
So that can be a hellhole. So there's 3 there. Then they go to the Bronx to take, or no, then they go home to take on the Yankees. That's the games in Fenway. Then they welcome in the A's. Then they're in Tampa, in Toronto, and finish up with 3 against Detroit. That's the rest of the schedule for the Red Sox. Do you think they're a bigger threat to catch the Blue Jays or the Yankees?
I think the Red Sox.
Okay. Kratz?
Man, I just feel like the Yankees haven't been playing their best baseball, even though they've been playing against bad teams. And I can't decide if they're only beating up on bad teams. I can't decide that. But then when they face a good pitcher and that pitcher carves them up because he can hit the locations that these home run hitters don't hit, then my mindset changes. So to me, I feel like the Yankees are a better team. I feel like they can be a better team. Will they be? I don't know. I feel like because there's going to be a ton of panic moments. The bullpen really carries you through those panic moments. And the Red Sox bullpen right now is one of the best in baseball in the last 2 weeks. Not even talking about just Chapman. What he's doing is historic. But I guess today I'm still leaning towards the Yankees. But I could be easily convinced to lean towards the Red Sox having the best chance. But I don't think anybody catches the Blue Jays.
Peyton Toley looked good too the other day for the Red Sox. It's a nice little addition.
You should have broke that. Why did we
rotation.
not break that? Why did we not break that call up, by the way?
What do you mean?
Didn't we have the inside scoop on that one?
The inside scoop? You mean Ken Rosenthal's segment on FT?
Yes.
Ken broke it. He scooped us. Got us. Anyway, MLB rivals.
I'm tired of little Kenny getting all the scoop.
Yeah, he gets the scoop.
I had him this weekend with me, and all he kept doing was jumping in on my conversations. I'm tired.
National Baseball Hall of Fame, as well as the brand new cards that you saw on the screen. Get the game chosen by 2-time NL MVP Bryce Harper by downloading MLB Rivals for free in your app store.
In baseball, one thing defines your legacy: the Hall of Fame, a place reserved for immortals, the chosen few who have sacrificed, fought, and bled for the game.
Harper with a rainmaker!
With every swing, every play, every challenge faced.
Harper is not happy about that.
It's about achieving greatness that echoes through time. And now is your time to rise to the challenge, chase immortality, and become a legend. Download MLB Rivals.
Hey, we're back. Let's talk NL West for a moment. Dodgers are hoping to get Tommy Edman back at some point. He's taking live at-bats right now. First time he's done that since landing on the IL. That was from Fabian Ardaya. Also, they added Kim back to the roster with the September call-ups. They added Kopech back. It's crazy. You look at some of the players that get activated, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. They're missing that player.
But the Dodgers have been waiting on.
Yeah.
And the Padres are just self-destructing with injuries right now.
It's going the other way for them.
Yeah, it's been like, whoa. Who else? There's going to, like, the Bat Boy, I think, pulled his hamstring the other day. It's crazy. No. Everyone. I mean, Bogart's going down. I mean, did you see Jason Adam last night? I thought he blew it was his quad. I thought he blew his knee out the way he went. They had to cart him off the field. Ruptured quad. I don't know if I've ever heard of that one before. I've heard ruptured quad
tendon. No, I think it is kind of, it's the tendon. What I read was it was a tendon that connects like above the kneecap. So it technically is his knee, but it's the bottom of his quad. Not a doctor, but that's tough.
We might do Injury Suck later so we can get into it further. So maybe Kratz can ask Google or GPT or somebody about it. We're going to talk Mets next. Draft Neck Mark, a.k.a. Marc Luino, one of the hosts of Mets'd Up. He's going to talk to us about the pulse of the Mets. Where are they at right now? Can they just avoid facing the Marlins? Do they have the Marlins on the schedule anymore?
I don't know. I have to look.
Have you seen the Marlins? It's like the Marlins against the Mets and then the Marlins against everyone else the last few weeks. They can't beat anyone except the Mets.
Yeah, and the Phillies can't lose to anybody except at Citi Field.
Right. Matchups are weird in baseball. But we'll ask him about Soto's big day against Detroit. We'll ask him about the debut of Jonah Tong along with Nolan McLean. Are those your game 1 and 2 starters in the postseason? Question mark.
Doubt it.
And the Pirates keep beating the American League East. They took 2 of 3 from the Blue Jays. They took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. The Pirates, the nutting killers.
Remember,
Mets end the season against the Marlins.
Mets do.
In Miami.
Great.
No.
It might not matter at that point, but
it should be over by then.
if it does, if the Reds are lurking 2 games out,
And
be
at
careful.
the Cubs and then at the Marlins.
You remember the Pirates beat up the Mets? What was it, right before the All-Star break or right after it? Pirates are weird. Mostly
break up
Mets
the
and Reds, though,
Pirates.
this weekend.
Oh, yeah. You got to do the intro.
Mark, what's up?
You got
Why
to
do
do
they
the
call
intro.
What's up,
you giraffe
AJ?
neck?
What's up, Erik? What's up, Scott? How we doing?
Scott lost his ear, so I want to know why you're giraffe neck, Mark. That's what I want to know.
So I know it's hard to believe, but I was about 50 pounds lighter when I was in college when I got started, and my neck looked a little bit longer and thinner based on how much less weight I had. I'm at a healthy spot right now, but before it was kind of goofy looking.
You were 50 pounds lighter?
Yeah, no, 50 pounds lighter. It was kind of crazy to think about.
Wow. What did you do? Did you hit the gym? Did you go on the Erik Kratz diet plan?
No, honestly, like just being healthier, I think, not being in college and eating the dorm food and, you know, having some late night activities. I think it was one of those situations.
There you go. All right. Well, you look good. How do you feel right now as one of the hosts of Mets'd Up about this Mets team? Like, what is the current pulse of where you're at? As, of course, you know, the team heading into the season had the highest of expectations. They carried that for a while. They had the lulls. And now with the youngsters coming up, are you back? I don't want to say on the bandwagon. You watch every pitch, but where are you at?
I go back and forth every single day with this team. I can watch games one day and be so back in, and then, like a Mets fan, watch them play one bad game or one bad series like they did against the Marlins and think, well, I don't really know how much noise we can make. I don't know. It's a bizarre team in that the young guys being called up has made me really excited with Tong and McLean. I think they were a little bit of a youthful spark that this team needed, brought some energy, and they're some of the best pitchers on this team right now. The offense is finally clicking, but the pitching is really scaring me with Manaea and Kodai and even Peterson struggling a little bit. Those guys just simply need to be better if we want any chance at all at making a run.
All right. Well, then let's dive into it. I mean, you start with the most recent where Carlos Mendoza said, we're not really sure where we're going with Senga. Like, do you believe that the route is blow up the rotation, have everybody go for a month of tryouts and say whoever does the best in the next month is our guys? Do we trust anything besides David Peterson and the rookies? You got to start with Senga. Do you agree with Carlos Mendoza?
I do, actually. I think right now with what we've seen from Senga, it's pretty tough to rely on him to be a game 2, game 3 starter in the playoffs. And we know that he's had some up and downs with injuries. He's had a bit of a weird couple seasons with the Mets with, you know, missing time. But at this moment right now, with how funky and kind of hyper-specific Kodai seems to feel within tune to his body, he's talked about it after the game. He's like, I'm working extra hard to make sure my body's working right. It doesn't seem like everything is going properly for Kodai Senga this year. And if he's not one of the 3 best pitchers, especially because the Mets look like they're going to be playing in the wild card series no matter what, I don't think you can confidently throw him out there in a game that has so much importance until he shows you something. And luckily, the Mets do still have a month left, and we have a little bit of a cushion. We still have the Reds, you know, at the end of the week here, which could change things. But if Kodai steps up, I have no problem putting him back in that, you know, game 2, game 3 role. But at this exact moment, I don't really trust him to get big outs in the series right now.
Well, the Mets trusted him last year against the Phillies. They ran him out there and pitched all year.
Yeah, no, I don't think we really had any other choice.
Now you don't trust him. What, did you ever think that the big bad Mets with their $700 million payroll would need 2 rookies to step in and save them? They were supposed to have, you know, Frankie Montas and this guy and that guy and all these people they signed, and then it's McLean and Tang that came up and to save them.
Listen, I'd still rather have the $700 million payroll and still make the playoffs than have that disappointing season like the Braves did this year and look so horrible. Like, at least we're still there. So it's one of those things where it's like...
Listen, I'm a White Sox fan, Mark, okay? So let's just say there's no
true.
disappointment. They're having a way better year than they did last year.
They've got some fun players, Colson Montgomery. But no, seriously, like I didn't expect the young guys to have this much importance. I don't particularly like it. I'm glad that McLean has stepped up and shown that he's able to pitch in big moments and be one of our better pitchers. And I'm glad that we saw Tom come up and he looked pretty good against the Marlins, the only win we got against them in that series somehow. But I wish that the pitching was a little bit better. Just the fact that Minaya and Senga, like you mentioned, being the guys that are supposed to be the frontline starters, and even looking at Montas, who was supposed to be a big part of this rotation, the fact that we've gotten almost nothing out of them, and I Kodai a little bit more than Minaya, but the fact that right now we're kind of getting nothing out of them is terrifying as a Mets fan, something I do not feel comfortable with at all.
Set it out there. You brought up the game 3 starter for the playoffs today. Nothing changes. Everybody just kind of middles their way through. Soto has 100 RBIs in the month of September, and the Mets make the playoffs. Tell me your games 1, 2, and 3 starters.
I think right now it's got to be Peterson, game 1. I think game 2 would be Nolan McLean. And then I think you just go all hands on deck. Like, can we get one time around the order from Sean Manaea? Can we go Jonah Tonk one time around the order? Like, we do have the option because of how the playoff format is, where if we were to get to a game 3, everybody has to be available. And the way that managers handle the postseason, typically they do go kind of a little bit crazy. And if you start to struggle at all, you come out of the game. The Mets will have a lot of arms if Peterson and McLean continue to do what they can do. Obviously, you're going to use some bullpen too in those games and things would change. But game 3, I would be leaning crazy enough. I think Tong, based on what we've seen right now, I feel more confident with him than I do Minaya or Senga right now.
Okay, so essentially you're looking for about 18 innings in 3 games from your bullpen, and we haven't even brought up your bullpen.
Well, that's another scary thing that's going on here is that a lot of the guys that we brought in, specifically Ryan Helsley, have been just really struggling to get any sort of outs, especially in big moments. Tyler Rogers has been good, but he is still giving up runs, whether it's doinky hits or bloops or anything like that. Still runs that are scoring. Like, there just hasn't been anybody that can get consistent outs in this bullpen that's not named Edwin Diaz or Brooks Raley right now.
All right, let's move to Soto. 36 home runs. Had a career-high 6 RBIs in that big win over the Tigers yesterday. He's a stolen base machine these days. That number's already a career high from him at, 26. And even for the homers, this is a tougher park to hit homers in, and he's at 36. His career high was last year at 41. When you look at his first season as a New York Met, how would you sum up his performance and contributions to the team? Should Mets fans be thrilled?
Mets fans should be thrilled. I think he's never going to be able to live up to the $700 million contract. It's impossible as a baseball player, unless you're Shohei Ohtani, who can literally pitch and hit and do things that we've never seen before. But for Soto, offensively, he is basically the same guy that he's always been. He's having one of his best seasons offensively. If you look at all the numbers around baseball, he's top 6, I think, in WRC plus in terms of run production. Even if you're looking at WAR for a guy who's horrible in right field defensively, he's still top 15 in the league. And what he's been able to do this past month and going into September now, really helping carrying this offense, is exactly what we paid him for. He's on pace to maybe even have a 40, 130 stolen base season. Like, we don't see that kind of stuff from players very often. I think Bonds and Griffey are the only guys to have those kind of numbers. So yeah, Juan Soto has been one of the most valuable players, I think, in baseball this year. If you take him off the Mets, this team doesn't even sniff the playoffs at all.
Who's next? Who's the next guy? Who's the next most valuable? Because I think it's a distant second place, but who do you feel like is the second most valuable player in this offense that's indispensable this stretch run here?
Yeah, offensively, I think it's Pete Alonso. As much as I think Lindor is probably a more valuable player overall, I think offensively, Pete Alonso is the next most valuable guy. Even the numbers he's putting up this year, still really good. A top 20 offensive player in the league. The power's incredible, as it always is. He's one of the best home run hitters in the game. And when he's not chasing, which he goes through spouts where he does chase a lot and he looks to hit the ball the other way a little bit too often, when Pete's on, he's a tough out, a tough at bat. And with Soto in front of him and Lindor in front of him, there's always guys on base, which is what you love to see if you're Pete Alonso.
Mark, good stuff, man. Great to have you on.
Oh, no. We ain't done with him yet. We ain't done with him yet.
I said final call.
Bring it on.
Final call. You didn't say final call. You
I
said
did.
next, and I didn't get the answer because you said, whoa, let's let him go. You got a helmet behind you, okay? We know you love the Cox.
Of
But
course.
is Lenore Sellers a real Heisman candidate? Because I watched her game against Virginia Tech. I mean, and are you sold on Shane Beamer?
Oh, I love Beamer. I love Beamer.
Of course
I think
you
he's
do.
the
Of
guy.
course you
Yeah,
do.
I have to love Beamer. You don't understand. I got to South Carolina 2014. From that moment on, they were horrendous. They never even came close to being good again. So this is the first time in over 10 years that they've like sniffed really being a good, prominent college football team. Big reason Beamer, and a big reason is because of Lenora Sellers, who I do think is a legitimate Heisman candidate. I don't think they wanted to show their hand too much against Virginia Tech. They ran that deep ball to Nick Harbor late in the game. Easy touchdown. That's all we needed to see.
Wow.
Good. I can't say anything
And
about
Scott's
that.
like, what? You
He
legitimately
literally could have
think
said-
they can compete for the SEC this year? I mean, Alabama looked like dog poo.
That
on
helps.
Saturday.
That
But
helps a lot.
You think Georgia, Tennessee, the rest of them, LSU, Florida, do you think they're better and can get to the SEC championship game?
I think we have a chance. I don't think we're the best team in the SEC, but when you look at like the most impactful players offensively and defensively, I think Dylan Stewart is one of the best defensive players in the country, and I think offensively, Norris is one of the 10 best players in the country. So college football, it's about who's the best, and if we got two of the better players in the country, I think we have a shot.
Okay. All right. Would you rather have Belichick or Beamer?
Beamer. Give me Beamer all day.
Oh, what a homer. What a homer.
Carlos Mendoza.
Carlos Mendoza, that's who we want.
Scott's like, I don't know who you're talking about.
I would
What you
rather
talking
have
about?
Carlos Mendoza.
Remember we talked to Witt about this.
coaching
We talked
UNC.
about Witt. We talked
I know.
to Witt.
I listened.
And
I
Witt was
listened
all,
lately.
oh, look at us go.
Exactly. It's a Gamecock right there.
Mendy over Belichick for UNC.
Always.
That was a whooping last night.
Woo!
That was bad. That was really good.
Mark, this was awesome, man. Thanks for stopping by. Of course, everyone check out Mark's content. Draft Neck Mark on that side of the equation on YouTube, and Mets'd Up. Him and James running point. Here you go. Multiple times per week, recapping every single series. The most dialed in on the Mets. It's Mets'd Up wherever you get your pods and on YouTube. Thanks, Mark. Talk soon, man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
FT fan, be right back. Let's talk about the shot the Rangers have, and also Kim to the Braves. Huh? All right, we're going to go live to Pennsylvania for our reporter on the Phillies, Erik Kratz, checking in with their latest edition. Yes, you can still add players. Now you can't, but you could up until a couple days ago. And what do you think of the latest ad?
You mean to the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs? Walker Buehler? Or Tim Meza, who pitched a scoreless inning last night and is now a left-handed option out of the bullpen that they only had Strom and Tanner Banks. But I guess you're talking about Walker Buehler. He's going to start September 12th versus Kansas City. They're going to try a six-man rotation. This is the beauty of having a lead. Hopefully, you can set your rotation for exactly how you want it to go. And right now, it looks like it's not going to be Walker Buehler. But it looks like Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Aaron Nola. How does Luzardo fit in between all of those guys in a playoff rotation? That's going to be the confusing part. I don't think Walker Buehler is really just going to help them make that transition to being able to be set for game one. But then it's also going to help, do they put him on the roster? Do they put him on the playoff roster because of what he's done in the playoffs? I don't know. To me, he's got to show a lot in September, because that's a coin flip. If you're putting him on the roster, there's been some other guys that have struggled also.
Yeah, he's got to show them some signs of life.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't had a good year, to say the least.
He gets a
But
clean
it's
slate
identical
here,
to
right?
last year.
He gets a new start, and we'll see. But, I mean, I hope he does well because he seems – I mean, people like him. He's pitched great in the playoffs, so I hope he does well. But he's got to earn a chance to be on this roster and on this team, honestly. He's just got to earn it.
Got to earn a chance to be in the big leagues if he doesn't pitch well over the
Also
next few
true.
weeks.
Also true. But,
Right?
Yeah, agree.
I mean, it's the difference between a major league contract and a minor league invite for next year if he doesn't pitch well. And it's the Phillies. They're not going to give him a ton of leeway. They're going to give him, what, a few starts?
Yeah.
It would line up that he'd have 2 starts. It would line up that he'd have 2 starts and possibly the last day of the season he would start again. But if he starts the last day of the season, I know they have 3 or 4 days off before their round would begin, as long as they get that bye, because they still have to get the bye. If you make that last start, most likely you're not making the roster usually, unless it's a must-win type of situation.
I totally disagree with that.
He's not making a start in the wild card series if they're there, but in a division series.
In a division series, he can make a start.
Yeah.
That's a long time away.
He won't start.
Okay. Hot corner, look out for the Texas Rangers. Was there a YouTube channel called Foul Territory that posted a video that was titled "Cooked"?
Yeah, I'll say it. I still think it.
You still think they're cooked?
I don't think they're going to make it. I just don't. I think they're. I think they're 9-1. Their last 10, they've won 6 in a row. This is their hot streak, and they're still 2 games behind. So until they got to keep this up for a while, and at some point, I think the Mariners are going to figure out how to win some games again. I mean, as long as they don't go east, the Mariners go east. Boy, it is big problem.
Sometimes a team gives up a spot. That's the thing. Like, will this be the Twins from last year?
Which one, the Mariners?
I don't know.
Or the Rangers, the Tigers from last year?
A little bit of both.
I mean, they just lost like 3 of their best players, and they're doing better.
They did. They lost Seager.
Evaldi, Seager, and Semien.
Yep. They picked up Dylan Moore, former Mariner. So here, I'll give you the schedules because it's not that hard to put together anymore. It only takes a minute, right? Mm-hmm. So for the M's, who got smacked by the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday, 10-2, they've got 2 more in Tampa. Then they've got 3 in Atlanta, 3 against St. Louis at home, 4 at home against the Angels, who always play them pretty well from what I recall, 3 in Kansas City, 3 in Houston, 3 at home against the Rockies, and they finished with 3 against the Dodgers. That's the Mariners for you. You want the Rangers?
Sure.
They've got 2 more against Arizona. They had a big win in extras against Arizona yesterday. 3 against the Astros at home, followed by welcoming in the Milwaukee Brewers for 3. Then they're in New York to take on the Mets for 3. In Houston for 3. Ooh, that just sounded rough. Then they get back home to take on the Marlins, the Twins, and they finish up in Cleveland for 3.
Well, the 6 games against the Astros are going to decide it, right?
That's a lot. Yeah, that
6
definitely makes a difference.
That's going to decide it.
Can they catch the Astros?
I mean, the Astros play the Yankees the next 3 days, right?
Yep.
And then they play the Rangers. And
crazier things have happened.
Let's say the Rangers win 4 out of 6. That puts them against the Astros. I mean, that picks them up 2 full games.
The Rangers can pitch.
I know. And the Astros, the whole thing is they can't hit. I mean, if you pick up, there's a chance, but I don't know. Every time we think the Rangers have got it figured out, they lose 4 or 5 in a row. It's like, wait, it's like every time you think they're like, oh, Bochy's got it figured out, go.
With the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can break down so many stats. Run differential would say, oh, the Rangers are going to catch them. You can break down so many things. Which team plays more games on the road? Because the Mariners are 32-38 on the road. The Rangers are 30-40. So whoever plays the most games on the road, they're out. Actually, I don't really care who plays the most games on the road.
Well, they both have the same exact amount left, just so you know.
I don't think the Rangers have enough to catch them. You can't lose Semien and Seager. You can't lose Semien and Seager, and your best starter. I get it. DeGrom has been awesome, but Evaldi's he was just putting up 6 or 7 innings of 1-run baseball every 5 days. I don't think you have enough to catch him. You can't go 9-1 again to continue to make up the rest of this ground.
Call me a hopeless baseball romantic, but I still think the Royals have a chance. They're only 2.5 back. You want the Royals schedule? Because I think this is the most favorable one. They have 3 against the Angels this week. Over the weekend,
They got the Twins.
They stay home for the Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Then next week, 4 in Cleveland, 3 in Philly. They welcome the Mariners in their home park, so you get the road Mariners. They welcome the Blue Jays in their home park. And they finish up with 6 on the road, Anaheim and ATH. That's not a bad schedule. That's the easiest one, isn't it? Is it the easiest one?
It's the easiest one,
okay.
But can the Royals score runs, man? That's they have a hard time scoring runs. They have a hard time scoring runs.
They do.
I'm sorry, but the game I did Saturday, Bobby Witt hit a home run, and that was it. It was really like Garcia and Witt hit homers.
Jack Haggs is back.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything.
Well, no, he just came back.
When he was there before, he didn't do anything.
Maybe he finds it, though. I mean, do you think he's going to be good?
Catching prospect, the Jansen kid,
Yep.
right?
Yep. One of the, they've got 2. One's in the lower minors. So this is the kid who they traded away Freddie Fermin for and felt like they could replace him with. What's the Reagan situation?
By the way,
did you get an update?
He threw a 2-inning sim game. It was a sim game. We watched it from the press box. We were dying laughing. They put the plastic guy in there to stand in there.
No real batters
about it.
They put he walked the plastic guy and hit him a couple times. So we're like, dang, that plastic guy, he's got a rally going right now in the second inning. It was just funny because we were just having fun with it. Like he hit him in the foot once, and we could kind of tell. We couldn't tell high or low, but we could tell in and out. A couple of times we're like, well, there's ball 4 to the plastic guy, to the dead guy. He's going to first. They have a rally going. If he just gets one knock, he breaks this thing open.
Weekend at Bernie's.
We were like, does Reagans know he's not swinging?
Maybe he was just working on pissing
I know, but
off.
it was because we're up there and we got nothing to do. We're waiting on a manager meeting, so we're just watching. And Hunter Harvey came in and was blowing snot and pitching against the plastic guy. The plastic guy was a switch hitter. I mean, right-handed and left-handed. So it was just one of those moments where if you've ever been at a ballpark for a really long time, that you're just sitting up in the press box and you're kind of done with everything. You're just watching this. And we just had a good old time with it, laughing at Reagan's trying to pitch to the dead guy.
So scouting report is not quite ready against plastic, but maybe against flesh.
Maybe against a real guy that swings. But
okay.
Man, I'm like, well, here's my scouting report. Just don't swing.
Don't swing.
There's a good chance he walks your shit.
Command not back yet.
4 before 3. AJ's breaking it right now. Cole Reagans is a 4 before 3 guy right now. 4 balls before 3 strikes.
I mean, again, he probably was throwing strikes. I don't even know. It was just we were having more fun with he just walked the dead guy, he walked the plastic guy, and then the Tigers were all sitting over there watching. Yeah, Joey Cora like this, watching like every pitch, and I'm like, does Joey know he's pitching against a non-human?
That's why he was worried. They also have to figure out Seth Lugo. He has not been good for a while.
But
he was so good through June.
It comes down to this: can they score? They don't score enough runs unless they figure out a way to score.
Bobby Witt gonna.
Bobby Witt is unbelievable.
Yeah, but even more.
A game on Saturday, he made 2 unbelievable plays defensively.
He's incredible.
And then he hit the 2-run homer. Dead center.
You know who's fallen off? Jonathan India's having a brutal year.
He doesn't even play hardly anymore.
I know, but they expected him to be the leadoff guy the whole year. I'm just thinking, what went wrong for the offense? Because you thought India here to set the table. Jack Haggs comes up, and maybe he'll be one of the better rookies. Obviously, he didn't play well, and then he got hurt. What do you think, Kratz? Do you think the Royals, your former ball club, has a shot?
No, I mean, they have a shot. Do I think they're going to make it? No, I don't think they're going to make it. Maybe India's changing of positions actually affects your hitting more than people want to lead on, but only he can answer that. That's tough. I thought that was a good pickup, but they got rid of Singer, who gives them some length when their starters could have really used, one guy that's going to give you 6 or 7 innings every 5 days. But, hey, they went for it. I love that. I thought it was a good pickup. Maybe there's a bounce back coming.
There's a lot of time left. I mean, I know there's not, but there is.
24-ish games.
If you're within a couple games, there's time left.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Here's the thing, though. Do we believe that these teams that have basically played 500 the entire year, throwing the Guardians, are only 4 out? Do we believe they have a 10-game winning streak in them like the Rangers are on their streak right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do we think one of these other teams can jump a 10-game winning streak even though they haven't done it all year?
Guardians, that's a little bit of a stretch. The other two,
Why? They're a
maybe.
game. They're one game behind the Royals.
You're right.
So why is that a stretch? But the Royals aren't.
Well, it just depends on what your line is. Where's your line?
That's what I'm asking you.
When you look
one
down.
game. I'm sure the Royals and Guardians play each other again.
Yep.
Oh, okay. The Guardians sweep them.
Okay. Then they're all still in.
I mean,
watched the
hell,
Rays game
everyone's
last
in
night?
except for the White Sox in the American League. The Orioles are still alive too.
No.
You watched the Rays game.
9.
They had a graphic. They had a graphic of the Rays 5.5 out. It had had the Mariners highlighted, and then it had the Rays 5.5 out as they're like scoring runs, base hit, dinger to right center, and then it was
4.5. They're 4.5.
now 4.5. But this was mid game. They had the 5.5. Like believe all these believe signs from their 6,000 fans.
Oh, is Randy Arozarena return?
They did a
night.
montage for him
On the
Deservedly
Yankees
so.
scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was Babe Ruth for a month, and they just liked him in general. He was fun. All right, let's cover this transaction. The Atlanta Braves claim Ha-Seong Kim off waivers from those Tampa Bay Rays. Rays put him on waivers. They signed him this past offseason. That was one of the bigger surprises. Kim really hasn't done much. He didn't play for most of the year.
Hasn't played for a couple years.
He's been
Remember
hurt a
last
lot.
year in San Diego, he was hurt too.
Mm-hmm. Braves are going to pay $2 million, so the Rays are like, woo! $2 million off the books. Wait, and he has a player option for next year for $16 million. Now, when he plays, if he's healthy, he's a good player. Will that be the case? What will he do in the offseason? How will he look for the next few weeks? Braves get a look, but it's not up to the Braves. It's up to the player. Is he going to pick up the $16 million? And I think the Braves were trying to look ahead, and they said, hey, I don't see much
They
available.
don't have a shortstop. They haven't had a shortstop for a long
They have
time. That's
no
the
short.
problem.
Do you know how many home runs they have from their shortstops this year?
I'm assuming Nick Allen has like maybe one. Oh, zero. I was
Zero.
giving him a chop house. home.
0 home runs from the shortstop position this season.
They
Next
tried
lowest team is the
Arcia,
Pirates.
remember? They tried Arcia.
Yeah.
Made an all-star team.
Yeah. But he had that 1 year, and then after that, he kind of.
Nosedive. So they need a shortstop, and they're like, maybe it's Kim because they don't like to go hard in free agency. They like to keep their own guys. So this puts them in a position, Kratz, where maybe this is their shortstop for 2026.
I mean, he has to be their shortstop. It's a player option. There's no tryout. They're saying he's their shortstop. They're going to pay him $16 million to play second base. Are they getting rid of Albies? He's not playing third base. Austin Riley's going to be there for a while. He's their shortstop next year. Unless I don't know how his player option works. But they have no choice.
Well, yeah, but he's got to pick it up.
Yeah, there's a chance that
He's got to pick it up, though.
I mean, there's a chance he comes back, right?
If he
And
plays
then-
great, he thinks he's going to make more than $16 million somewhere?
Who's his agent?
Boris.
Hmm.
And he's 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If he can prove he's healthy the next few weeks, last year he's coming off a major shoulder surgery, so that's a turnoff for most teams. If he proves he's healthy, there could be a team that throws a little bit more at him. I don't know. I mean, he was really valuable at one point not long ago, and if you believe he's still in his prime, he's still in his 20s. He might get more.
Yeah. The problem is the injury.
Yeah.
That he missed. It cost him the last 40 games of last year, and then almost all of this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's had
And he hasn't
only
come back.
84 at-bats this year, and it's looked like crap.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't proven that he can do it. So he has to go out in this. He has this month to go out and play and prove. And if he goes out and rakes, he could decline that option. But if he doesn't, the Braves, I bet, would be happy with him for 1 year at 16.5.
No such thing as a bad 1 year deal.
For 16?
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
bad. Means 1 year deal. There are no bad 1 year
Right.
deals.
Okay. So it was interesting. I mean, do you think there were any teams that wanted him and then the Braves claim him and they're like, what the? Like a contender that wanted him? Or no?
We'll never know. I guess we'll
I
never know.
mean, the Padres
Yankees?
again.
Yankees.
They have
Where's he gonna play
Caballero.
in the Yankees?
They already have their
Shortstop.
guy if they're not going.
Caballero's the guy? Okay. I don't know. Just thought of a team, top of my head.
They're not just bringing in every shortstop possible.
Scott doesn't understand. He thinks it's fantasy. We can just sign up this guy. We can sign up this guy. We can sign up this guy.
Some teams do that. The Phillies just did that with Walker Buehler.
Yeah. They stashed him in the minor leagues. They're going to get him a couple starts.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You can't add via trade. You haven't been able to add via trade. This is where, even when we were talking about the Blue Jays earlier, they have a problem. Hey, we could really use one more bullpen arm. Too late. Unless you got a prospect, you call someone up, which is what the Mets have done. Hey, we don't have any starters. Let's just call all the kids up early. It's all you can do.
Yeah. We talked about on Friday. This is a Walker Buehler decision. This isn't like, oh, the Phillies gave Walker Buehler more money. This is a Walker Buehler decision. If he had other options, which I assume he had other options to go to other teams, he chose to go to the Phillies because of whatever reason, opportunity to pitch, maybe, the team's good. He had, a chance to play in the playoffs, whatever it is. This isn't like the Phillies outbid anybody.
True. Yeah, with Kim, it's, hey, we claimed him first, and we're taking on potentially $18 million, which is not nothing. All right, coming up next, Stephen Nesbitt from The Athletic. A ton of topics to get into with the national baseball writer, including all the noise he made with his realignment talk and strength of schedule for contenders. Couple things from the Brewers. Pat Murphy, talking about Shelby Miller, said he felt something pop in his elbow.
That's not good, because I just texted Shelby to come on, too. He just got his 10 years.
Yeah, he did. So we'll see.
I texted him to come on. He said yes, and then this happened. So now it's just...
Maybe not. We'll find out more details later today.
He already had one. I know that.
TJ?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pat Murphy on The Miz, who hasn't been sailing as smoothly. His ERA is in the fours. Quote, I think we're learning as we go. We need him as a starter right now, and he's developing as a starter. That discussion hasn't begun about what else could happen.
Well, the thing is that he's been good for like a couple innings, and then he has like a rough when he gets second time through. So maybe, is he a closer? McGill's out. Is he a bullpen piece for him? A bulk
multi-inning?
That's what I'm saying, a bulk bullpen guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's people are talking about that.
The Brewers are going to try things, Kratz, in October because it hasn't worked for them in the past.
Yeah, but they've been in situations where they've been at spots to win the game. Hader gave up a ground ball to Juan Soto on a fastball he should have never thrown, and Trent Grisham missed the ball. The game was in hand last year. Devin Williams gives up a home run to Pete Alonso. I think it was a second home run to a right-hander. His only home run off of a changeup all year. Like, they've been in situations. Like, I don't think they're going to just remake their entire roster. Jacob Mizorowski has not shown that he is a reliable full start type of pitcher. Maybe they bring him in and he starts the game and he throws one time through the order. Kind of a bulk starter instead of a bulk reliever. And then they go to their bullpen guys. It's not going to be extreme. I don't see them transitioning him to being their closer.
Would you rather have him as a bulk starter or a bulk reliever?
In the postseason?
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to go Freddie, Quintana, Woodruff, who's your fourth?
Quinn Priester?
Quinn Priester, they're like undefeated when he pitches.
He's been really good.
Throw Mizorowski as a bulk reliever. You need a big strikeout, bring him in to throw 107 for one hitter.
Or for 2 innings.
Isn't that the new fave thing to do? All the cool
innings.
kids are doing it.
Shelby Miller news is tough.
Yeah, it is. Stephen Nesbitt is here. You can catch all of his articles in The Athletic and give him a follow at Stephen J. Nesbitt on Twitter. Stephen, good to see you. How's everything?
Good, guys. How you guys doing?
We're good. Let's start with the column you put together with Chad Jennings on contender schedules the rest of the way. We obsess over schedules for these last few weeks. We do it all the time. I get to read the schedules out. What do you think? What did you write about?
Yeah, this is an exercise we started last year where I find as a fan growing up, like you're very aware of your team's schedule and it matters deeply to you when you get into the stretch run. And yet it's pretty hard to keep track of what everybody's schedule is. And so we tried to limit it to the teams that have a realistic shot at the postseason. And this was looking at the next 2 weeks. We'll do it again in 2 more weeks and have the last 2 weeks of the regular season. And sort of a bite-sized way to look ahead and say, okay, we're trailing this team by 2 games in the standings. But our schedule looks a lot easier coming up. Let's take advantage of this stretch, and then maybe they'll have a hard time moving forward. It's a good way to see that, okay, the Padres have a super easy schedule the rest of the way. The Dodgers have an easy schedule. The Yankees are going to go through it right now, and then it gets easy after that. The Tigers have a little bit of a couple tough series of the Mets and Yankees coming up. So I find it as a fun way to, in sort of the dog days of August and September, look ahead a little bit and consider what we have coming up next.
Okay, so then I'll ask, can anybody outside the playoffs use their schedule to their advantage to make a run and get in? The Rangers, the Royals, the Rangers, the Royals, or someone having a tough schedule, like maybe the Mariners having a tough schedule, or the Mets having a tough schedule to make a run and get back into this thing.
Yeah, the playoff picture, unfortunately, is like pretty sewn up at this point. I think the Rangers have a shot, and that's probably it. I don't think the Guardians, I don't think the Royals are probably gonna make the run. The Mariners are certainly susceptible, and so if we look at who they have coming up, do this live, they got a tough road, right? The Rays, Braves, Cardinals, Angels. I'm sorry, they have a good road. It's to the wrong color here. The Mariners have a very friendly schedule the next 2 weeks, and one of the more friendly schedules the rest of the way. And if you look at the Rangers, they have Diamondbacks, Astros, good team, Brewers, really good team, Mets, good team. And so that's a much tougher next 2 weeks. I think we're seeing the 12 teams that are going to get in at this point. The National League, not really a contest. I think the closest team is the Reds, and they're maybe 4 back of the Mets at this point. So I think we have our playoff field essentially set, but we've been fooled before, even last year with the way the Mets and Tigers closed things out.
Thanks. Because Scott thinks the White Sox are getting in this year because they have an easy schedule. So thanks for – because I asked this question earlier on Twitter. So Scott said the White Sox were in, possibly because their schedule lightens up. So I don't know. I thank you, Stephen.
With Banana Ball, they're in.
Huh?
Banana Ball has this rule where you can win 89 games in one game, and you're in.
Don't say that because Banana Ball is legit. Banana Ball is legit. All right, I'm going to switch topics here a little bit. You, as a left-handed hitter, you talked about Roman Anthony and how they let him hit off lefties, except for the first game of his career where they pinch hit for him against the lefty. Since then, they've let him hit. He's learned. He's doing better. I know his numbers aren't as great. Listen, no lefty is ever going to hit as good against lefties as they do against righties. No, there might be a guy. Okay, I know. Overall, okay, just because you don't see him as much, it's a tougher matchup, all that stuff, right? But what have the Red Sox learned by letting him do this? And why aren't other teams doing this? Like the Orioles, with Jackson Holiday, they were like, I can't hit lefties, right? And then all these other teams like, automatically it's like platoon. So what are the Red Sox showing the rest of the league?
Yeah, I think this is a very unfortunate trend since I started covering baseball in 2014, 2015, is the prevalence of the platoon. No one likes to see it. The players certainly don't like to see it. They fear it when they come up. They don't want to turn into a platoon guy. And especially left-handed hitters are so susceptible to getting pulled out. Even if the manager calls it a rest day, it's effectively the same thing. You're shielding him from a left-handed pitcher, often the very best ones in the league. And you're hoping that one of these guys that's a right-hander who just excels against opposite-handed pitching, like, your Rob Refsnyder's, your Miguel Andujar's can come in off the bench and spell that lefty. And I think it's extremely unfortunate. I think you guys would have something to say about this as well. But I understand what the numbers say. I also understand, having just written about this, how good left-handed pitching is right now. This is the best we've seen it compared to right-handed pitching. The lefty ERA across the league is 3.8. The righty ERA is 4.31. It's not particularly close right now. This is the largest gulf we've ever seen in the ERA era, which is going back to 1913 when it became an official stat. And so lefty pitching is so good right now. And left on left is as hard as ever been. But the other thing we wrote about in that story a couple weeks back is right on left ain't good either. The platoon split is basically vanished for right-handed hitters. Alex Bregman had good thoughts on that. They're getting pitched differently. Guys have more pitches. They're throwing harder from the left side. They're willing to go to different areas, come inside on the right-handed hitter. So listen, if there's ever a time you're going to give left-handed batters a chance to actually face both hands, I think it's right now. Let them show they can do something, because if you are not going to let them face that lefty the one time you face a lefty, this week, a left-handed starter, good luck when you get to the postseason and need Roman Anthony to face, Tanner Scott or one of these Yankees left-handed starters. You need these guys to have experience facing top-level left-handed. They are not facing them on the minors. And so that was what this story came out of, was a conversation I had with Roman Anthony, who I thought was so smart on this topic, so thoughtful on it, where he said, in the minors, my breakout year in 2023, he won Red Sox minor league hitter of the year. And yet he did it batting, I think, like 215 or so against lefties. And he's like, my numbers hit it. They obscured the fact that I couldn't hit lefties. And so I spent that whole offseason facing lefty pro hitters down in South Florida, where he's from, facing, every sort of angled pitching machine, the trajectory, everything that was at his disposal. He went after it to try to get better against lefties, because he hadn't faced, like any of us, he didn't face any as a kid, and has been great against lefties ever since. And so when he came up, the Red Sox were thinking they would probably use him part-time against lefties. And he had some awful starts, right? He struck up 4 times against Christopher Sanchez in a complete game for the Phillies lefty. But then they gave him another chance against Framber Valdez and some of these other lefties from Chicago and the Cubs and some other teams like that. And he's paid it off. He paid off that opportunity where he's got a 900 OPS against righties. He's crushing righties. It's the reason he is in just part of a season is in the Rookie of the Year conversation. But he's also more than holding his own against lefties. He's got like a 120 OPS plus. This guy can hit. He can hit for average, certainly. And he's showing a little bit of power, too, against lefties. The one thing that stands out there is velocity is not a problem, but his eye just seems to be more naturally geared toward facing right-handed pitching, where his walk-to-strikeout ratio is much, much worse. He's striking a lot against lefties. But listen, I'd rather him go through these bumps as a 21-year-old and throughout the course of his career not getting platooned than just assume at 21 years old, I'll just platoon him now and hopefully he figures it out down the road. No, let him figure it out now. If you can't do it in October, okay, you make a call then. But in August and September, give the kid a chance.
But obviously, Roman Anthony is a elite prospect. Are we going to, even based on all the numbers that you just said, are we going to go away from this because the game – are we going to continue to get even worse platoon splits here because of how cheap teams are? Romy Gonzalez will always cost way less. And I know it's not a comparable position. Will always cost way less. Rob Refsnyder will always cost way less. Just on the Red Sox team, both those guys have a higher success, higher OPS against lefties. So because teams are going for the cheap, we're going to go and get somebody cheap, and we're just not going to need to play those guys against lefties. Or does there have to be almost like a whole MLB shift for this to change?
I think there's got to be a larger shift than certainly just Roman Anthony figuring things out, right? Like, look at all the top prospects we get, like a Jackson Holliday to the majors, and they just don't hit the way you thought they were going to, the way they projected to, given their hit tool and all the production they had in the minors and their prospect status. It is so much easier to say, hey, Andujar's out there. We can pay $500,000 to take on the rest of his contract, and we have a guy we feel comfortable in a corner outfield spot or first base or DH, and he can hit lefties. So I think there are enough of those guys out there that we will continue to see this platooning happen. I am not at all forecasting the end of platooning. I'm saying in maybe smaller samples, the truly great left-handed hitters, we're seeing it, a sort of pivot point, I think, in the game where maybe we've gone a little bit too far with how unwilling we are to let them go through hard times against lefties. And there needs to be a moment where you say, okay, we're going to take a month here. We're going to let him face every lefty we get thrown in there. We'll rest him some other day. And we'll accept the numbers probably are not in our favor, but in the long term, we need a Roman Anthony or a Jackson Holliday to be able to hit left-handed pitching. And so, we can platoon part of our lineup. He's not in that part anymore. We are going to have him be an everyday regular, a left or right-handed pitching starter. And so I would hope we are headed in that direction, where at least we're a little more opportunistic with who gets platooned, rather than just sort of naturally assuming, hey, everybody on the bench, all the righties on the bench, we're going to shuffle you into the lineup, just because that's that's what you do against a left-handed pitcher.
All right. AJ hates power rankings, so I want you to give your power rankings for the 6 expansion cities and the realignment of how those cities could affect realignment in Major League Baseball.
Okay, I'll go with the 6 that I just named. Is that okay? In my recent story? Okay. So the 6 that I had in the East, Orlando, Raleigh, Nashville, and in the West, I had, thank you, it's easier. West, I had Salt Lake City, Portland, and Austin. And so if I'm power ranking them, I'm thinking it's going to be one from the East, one from the West, but I'll just do it all as one. Austin, I think, is last on my tier, mostly because they don't have sort of a terribly organized effort. They're starting it, but it's sort of it's a couple entrepreneurs who are starting the effort. It's not like it's a huge corporation. It's not like it's in Salt Lake City where they have all the money that they're like, hey, we're starting the effort. No, it's a couple like guys with a dream. And so Austin, sure, it has a lot of things in its favor, but not the organization so far. Orlando, I don't think baseball is crazy about another team in Orlando. They could get relocated, I suppose, if the Rays end up as they get sold, deciding they don't want to get that ballpark or can't get that ballpark in Tampa or St. Pete. So I'd put them there. So I have left Nashville, Raleigh, Salt Lake City, and Portland. Ooh, it's close for all those. So I actually rate them separately because it doesn't make sense to do them together. I think Portland is less likely than Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City has every piece, as I wrote in that piece. Like it's as turnkey as you're going to get for an expansion franchise. They have a stadium site that's already shovel ready or getting very, very close to it. They have all the money in the Miller family that's willing to bankroll this. They have bipartisan support, everyone locally, or so many people in local politics and state politics over there in Utah want this to happen. That's really big part of this that doesn't get talked about as much. They have public funding for half the ballpark or so. Portland, I think, is close behind. I think they just don't quite have all of those things. They don't have the keystone investor there. And so I think Major League Baseball would work both places. But I think Salt Lake City has to be considered the front runner at this point. And in the East, I think that was maybe what surprised people most from the reporting I did, was that Raleigh seems to be a much more realistic option than they believed. And as I wrote, the reason they're realistic is they have the money lined up. Tom Dundon, who owns the Carolina Hurricanes and also just was part of a group that's buying the Portland Trailblazers right now, he wants to make it happen and bring baseball to North Carolina. There is also support in local politics. And so in some of the ways that Nashville has not been so public, baseball players would love to have it in Nashville. Generally, that's the city that wins running away when we ask players in our various polls about where they would like to see an expansion franchise. Nashville is it, but they don't have the money quite yet. They don't have public funding quite yet. They don't have a stadium site quite yet. So that all can still come together before baseball goes public and asks for bids to come in. But at this very stage, I would pick Nashville because I think there's still a lot of momentum there, but they have a lot to figure out, which makes Raleigh a pretty intriguing number 2 option in the same way that Portland's pretty intriguing behind Salt Lake City.
Stephen, before that, you wrote about your realignment plan, and I know it's been a minute now that this has been a topic of conversation, but it has been a hot topic of conversation. So instead of asking you for your whole plan, which we went over in a segment on our show, how was it received? What kind of feedback did you get? And if you could go back and rewrite anything, would you?
No, I wouldn't change anything, and not because I'm unwilling to do it. I just think it really worked. It really made the map make more sense, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. So Ken Rosenthal was texting me that day with just texts he was getting from people around the league that said, like, hey, can we get your guys' plan to be the plan? Which is, I'm not taking that much credit because Jason Stark literally wrote this exact same 32-team alignment in 2018. I didn't realize it till after I finished mine. So it's not like I'm the first one to say any of this, but it's well received because I took the NFL model. When they realigned in 2002, the Braun and Houston Texans, they were able to realign in a way where, a handful of teams got pulled into the new South divisions. But other than that, they just didn't really rock the boat that much. You didn't cause that many ripples and waves. One team here changed conferences, a team here changed divisions, but really it was like, how do we take the existing structure, take out those teams that are going to head to the South divisions and try to make the map just like more common sense. And there are some things that happen that don't make sense. The Indianapolis Colts are in the South and the Miami Dolphins are not. That type of thing will happen because the Dolphins said we don't want to go. So baseball could have that very thing happen as well. But right now I said, what's the easiest way we can put the map together and try to limit how many teams we have crossing the leagues. And you come away with an option like, okay, that cluster of teams is together. We're keeping almost everybody in the same leagues. I was switching just the Rays and the Rockies, switching leagues. And I think people realize seeing that like, oh, realignment doesn't have to be earth shattering. It doesn't have to completely turn over what I thought the leagues looked like. I don't have to sort of learn all that much new stuff. Where the alternative, as I'm sure you talked about the other day, the alternative is you rip up the American National League and you say, we're just going geographically. We're like the NBA. We want the 4 or 5 teams closest to each other to be in the same division, or the 8 teams close to each other be in the same division. And you just split basically at the Mississippi. I personally don't think that's the way they're going to go, because the American National Leagues are so established and there's so much history there. Baseball loves its history. It's sacred in so many ways that would the owners really vote just to, the example that the commissioner gave when he was in the Little League Classic, it was like, oh, that 10 p.m. game in the playoffs, we get like West Coast team and an East Coast team and nobody's happy. It's like, would you really blow up the American National Leagues because of that 10 p.m. game? I don't know exactly how much money is in that one, but that would surprise me if that was the number one motivating factor. And so I think they keep the American National Leagues, and that was my proposal, was to do that and make as few changes as possible. And I think it really works.
Okay. Well, good stuff. Yeah, we will get into it more in the off season too. Stephen, thanks for stopping by, man. Really appreciate the insight. Everyone check out all the articles that he's been working on in The Athletic. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's Stephen Nesbitt. We'll be right back to go over Taylor Ward's injury. Same with Jason Adam. With Ward, he had an outspoken teammate. BETMGM Locks, it's been a minute. Today is Tuesday, not Monday, Tuesday. Friday's Locks saw Todd Father get back on the board. Mets won by $1 billion that day. Everyone else lost. All right, Kratz, you're up.
Am I? I had the reverse sweep on Friday, so that was nice. That was nice for everybody who faded me. It was a good reverse sweep day for you. I'm picking on the Tigers, calling up Sawyer Gibson-Long for this start here, going against the hot Nolan McLean. The Mets scored some runs against them yesterday. So Mets scored some runs against the Tigers yesterday. So I'm taking the Mets, and I'm parlaying that with the Giants, who are facing the Rockies, and they have Logan Webb going. Anytime it's a Logan Webb day, you parlay those together. It's plus 155. I'm putting $200 down again.
All right. Kratz is getting a little frisky these days. September Kratz putting down $200. I'm just going to piggyback off that because I picked the Mets. Just money line, minus 135. McLean to beat what could be a controlled chaos practice game, because Gibson-Long's not going to go deep. But I like the Mets offense over what the Tigers are putting out there right now. So 135 to win $100 for me. You?
I'm doing a parlay over 7.5 in the Yankees Astros. It's Fried and Fromber, I know, but either one of these guys has been pitching that great, so it seems like a 7.5 seems low, especially in Houston. And then I'm just going money line Cubs against the Braves. Shota's pitching at home. He usually does well at home, and the Braves are the Braves. You never know what you're going to get. So that gets me to plus 182.
Okay. Yeah, Cubs should be able to beat on some Braves pitching.
Yeah, I forget who's pitching for the Braves, but I was like, who?
I mean, the Yankees obviously have found it with the week they had against bad teams, but you see if they can carry that momentum into a big series against Houston. Astros lineup looks much better than it did a few weeks ago.
Jordan's back.
He's back. He looks back, too. He looks good now.
Carson Wentz. Is it Wentz? Carson Wentz? What's his name?
The quarterback?
Yeah, that's his pitch. Joey Wentz is pitching for the Braves.
Joey Wentz. Wasn't Carson Wentz a quarterback?
Yeah, sorry.
For all your football news, I'm here.
Carson Wentz just got traded, by the way, or claimed or something.
I didn't know he was still slinging.
He slings that pigskin, throw it over the mountains. We don't want states.
Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. Injuries suck. Taylor Ward had a brutal injury out in left field the other day, smashing into the out-of-town scoreboard, which is full of what looks like flush metal. He has about 20 stitches above his right eye for the Angels outfielder. He's otherwise okay. This according to Jeff Fletcher of the Orange County Register. He said cleared of concussion, slept well, thinks only a couple days rest and can return to the lineup. Now, the phase of this that I want to address is his fellow outfielder, Joe Adell, who said, quote, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's being aggressive on a play. At the bottom line, and I've talked about this before, there should be no out-of-town metal scoreboard anywhere on the baseball field. It's the big leagues. This bleep is ridiculous. A guy goes back to make a play and he's got to worry about a metal fence. That's crazy. So that's my honest opinion about it. He did everything he could to make a play, and he gets beat up by something that's beyond controllable. Should we have metal out-of-town scoreboards?
Just raise it.
Make it so you can't run into it.
So you can't run into it. I don't think everything, all the metal should be padded if possible. But I've seen guys get like their jerseys stuck on it. Same as the Green Monster. The Green Monster is metal, right?
The whole thing.
Green Monster's metal. Didn't Bryce
Are they
run
going to get
into?
rid of the Green Monster and pad it for you, Scott?
Didn't Bryce run into metal somewhere? Was that in L.A.?
No, that was Judge. Remember Judge hurt his ankle
that was
on the concrete day?
Yes, in L.A.
Aaron Ruff ran into the metal of the tarp, split his knee open.
Yeah, he's suing
Aaron
him.
Rowan got better looking when he ran into a thing in center field in Philly.
Stop it.
They had to change that. That was the first year it was open. They had to change it.
Okay, so let's play the game. You're the Houston Astros. This happens. And you've done changes before. You did a little
What are you
makeover.
gonna
Tal's
change
Hill's
then?
gone.
Put a pad over it?
Would you either get rid of it or put a pad over it or raise it?
You got to raise it. That's it. You got to raise it and make the letters smaller.
Do you think they'll do anything?
No.
Why not?
I think they will, but it won't be this season.
No, of course. But next year,
They'll do something.
do we need
but
it?
Then, okay, in Boston, what do you do in Boston? Outfielders know not to run into the metal scoreboard in Boston. There's little hooks at the little things, the little things hang on. There's little hooks out there.
Can't we make it so that it's
It's
padded?
tradition, Scott.
There's no
one's
hooks.
ever.
Metal is
Yes,
tradition?
there is. How do you think they hang the numbers on?
From the inside. They don't.
No, they don't. Yeah, you better check it.
They
have hooks from the outside. They don't
numbers?
bring anybody. It's all from the inside. Come on.
They do. On some of them, they do.
Not in
They have a
Boston
person on
or
the
in
outside
Houston.
putting it on?
Yeah, Boston, they have a little guy that runs out and runs back in.
No.
Yes. They do.
All right.
They have a guy
so-
that climbs the ladder sometimes. The high ones.
Okay, I just want to be clear on this. You guys don't think that a place that has history with metal should fix it, right? Like in Fenway, you think they should keep metal because it's always been there.
Yes. People know not to go face first into the metal.
Okay.
They stop. And listen, this is not a knock on Taylor Ward at all. It was just a crappy luck. He did everything right. But at Fenway, people don't go barreling into it. You saw Torrey Hunter when he tried to catch David Ortiz's grand slam. He went ass over tea kettle.
Do we want sick athletic plays? If we do, we should try and make it so that there's not a problem when you do it.
Okay, we want sick athletic plays in football, but we don't ban tackling.
Is that an accurate analogy, Kratz?
Very accurate.
Okay, fine. I'm just asking the
I mean,
question.
listen, in Houston, they can raise the pad. In
I think
Fenway, they
it's-
can't do anything. In Fenway, they can't do what they can't. It's there.
I think Joe Adell was being honest. He saw his teammate leaking pretty good. Like, it was immediate. And he was being honest. And I think this is a situation, yes, they could take that one row of scores out and raise the pad just so it's player height. But I mean, look at our boy Rowdy Tellez. You can't cover every injury. Rowdy Tellez had jumped for a ball and his finger got caught and filleted his skin off of his finger. You try your best.
Okay. Yeah, just asking, just checking. Anyway, we're going to swing back to a longer last segment. Why? Because we had some transactions. Something occurred called the dump deadline, and it led to a pickup for one team, actually two pickups. And then also, probably the best reliever in baseball this year got paid a little more, so we'll cover both of those things next. So here's the recap of our picks. And I want to talk about the AL odds because they're interesting. But first off, just looking at our 3 locks, good luck to us today. And also, BetMGM players will receive an MLB Parlay Boost token in the BetMGM app. If you use that token and add a parlay wager made up of entirely MLB bets to your bet slip, and you activate that token, you can score some extra winnings with that wager. It's a Parlay Boost token. Go check it out. Gambling problem or concern, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You got 2 minutes here. I want to give you the BetMGM odds to win the American League. Who do you think is first? Which team do you think?
Yankees.
They're second. Plus 375 for the Yankees. Detroit's at plus 290. Blue Jays at plus 400.
But
Mariners.
see, I'm just going to say this. This doesn't mean who they think the best team is. They have to set odds because people are going to bet more on the Yankees. So they got to lower the Yankees lower than what they probably should be. Doesn't mean the Yankees are the second best chance to win the American League necessarily.
Yeah, odds shift based on handle on wager placed.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
More
people usually bet the Yankees.
And they also want to make sure that if the Yankees do get hot, that they don't get killed.
Right.
So they.
So you think the Yankees would potentially be number one?
I think the Yankees would be close. I think the Astros should be above the Mariners.
Mariners are plus 550.
The
Astros are
plus
plus 625.
even though they're ahead of them in the standing.
Yeah, but who do you think has a better shot in a tournament?
The Astros.
Okay.
They've been better all year. The Astros have done it before.
Red Sox plus 650, and then the Rangers and Royals are way down.
But
I mean, they have a chance.
My question is, the Blue Jays have been ahead of the Yankees almost all year. They should be ahead of them. Same as the Astros and the Mariners.
But do you feel the same way about teams in the regular season as you do in the playoffs? Not necessarily.
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do.
Sometimes I look at a team and I'm like, that's a better regular season team than playoff team, or vice versa. I think the Phillies have been that for the last couple of years.
Because they haven't won?
Well, that helps. Yeah.
Yankees haven't won?
For last year.
Right.
For last year. They lost in Game 7 of the NLCS, and they lost in the World Series the year before that. So, I mean, that's pretty decent distance of playoff success.
Let's slap. First off, congrats to Aroldis Chapman racking up 1 year, about $13 million on a contract extension. There is a vesting option if he gets to 40 innings pitched. You would add,
count it.
Let's see, $13 million for 2027.
He always seems like he pitches a lot.
He pitches a lot. I mean, he is ridiculous this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. He knows where it's going.
Yes, he does.
His walk rate's down.
Mm-hmm.
Punching guys out.
His fastball again. He wasn't able to do that for a long time. He was mostly split and slider. He could throw for strike. Fastball would just show.
Now he's got it all.
Now he's got all of them.
This might be the best version of Aroldis Chapman ever, Kratz, your former boy, former teammate.
Ever? I would have to look at ever years. He had some pretty decent
a 1 ERA.
Oh, absolutely. His ERA is there. But there were some years where he was punching some dudes out. He's going to get close. And that's what they're going to say. You know, if you're – I mean, there's no way of dicing it. The dude's 37 years old. His velocity – I think it was the day that Ben Joyce, a year or two ago, Ben Joyce hit 105 and he came out and hit 104. Like, it was a completely different game. He sees it. He knows. He also knows how to stay healthy. When you're talking about 40, he needs to throw 40 innings. He hasn't not thrown 40 innings since – oh, sorry, there was – oh, no. No, it was 2022 when he had that year where he went home at the end of the year and he said they told him he wasn't going to be on the roster, so he didn't come back. That was a little scuttlebutt. But before that, it was 2010, his rookie year, was the last time he didn't throw 40 innings. So they basically signed him to a 2-year, $26 million deal.
It's a good deal. I think he would have gotten more in the free agent market.
Yeah, he likes Boston. He's happy there.
Yeah.
Great.
I think he would have gotten 2 years, 35.
Yeah, maybe. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's happy. He's happy in a place. Why can't someone just be
Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, it's great. Great move. Hey, it's a fit in Boston. They've got a lockdown closer. 2 minutes to go. The stage is yours.
No, I just want to say, I had this spider problem. I just built a new dock from the hurricane. It took forever to get it permitted and stuff. I just built a new dock. And I had a spider infestation on the new dock. And
I saw that.
I put a video on Instagram and Twitter, and people were saying, burn it down. I'm not going to burn down my dock, people. I just had it built. I know they were kidding, but it took a lot. And there's, I got rid of most of them, power washer and some spray will do wonders, but it took all day yesterday. So on Labor Day, I was not taking the day off. I was out on my dock all day.
Laboring
with a power washer and spray, and had to take the boat out and clean it and clean under the cover of the boat. And it's been a day. And then I went out this morning. There were still some stragglers, but they got wah-zah-zah. So my new favorite thing is a power washer and some bug spray.
So spiders hate you.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry, Toby McGuire. I'm sorry.
Cubs fans and spiders are now best friends.
It's fine. I'm okay with it. But listen, people, I thank you for all the advice, but people that are saying it, burn it down. I mean, come on.
They were probably kidding.
I know,
Hopefully
but
kidding.
Still.
They probably had arachnophobia too.
Yeah, or move. They were like, burn it down or move. Well, I'm not moving. But I did call my pest company and they wouldn't do anything about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Today, on your dock?
This is what I'm going to start doing. Since I'm now an empty nester, every day I have a project, so I should start recording them and putting them on Instagram.
You should.
Yeah. Today I got to change the garage door batteries because they're beeping because they're dead.
That's not as fun as the spider
Tomorrow
one.
I'm climbing on the roof to kill wasp nests.
That's more fun. But yeah, put them all up. You on the roof? It's definitely entertaining. That's like Fear Factor.
What, in case I die?
Will he live? Will he live? He made it. He's back on FT the next day.
You're not an empty nester. You're a spider nester.
Woo!
Or a Nestor Cortez.